So you want to learn how to make Nanami's curse tool from JUJUTSU Kaisen? Well, let me show you. We're going to be starting off with the knife part of the prop. All the molds that I show here, I made them myself, and they'll be available in the description below. Remember to transfer your molds into a stronger material so it doesn't break and makes it easier to trace. After you trace it into your desired material, we're not going to be cutting it just yet. We'll be making a small border on the back side of about ½ inch. This is going to help us later connect both pieces. Now onto the second piece. We're going to be doing the same to this one. We're going to be adding a ½ inch border to the back side, but also a 1 centimeter border on the front side. Now that we got both pieces cut, we're going to be folding the borders. We're going to be folding for the first piece's border to the right, and the other two borders of the second piece to the left. Before I do this, I'm going to lightly trace the borders with scissors, so it's easier to fold. Now we'll be gluing the pieces together. I'll be using hot glue for basically all of this project. Start by putting glue on the inside of the border of the first piece. Now we're going to place the first piece's border, which has the glue, on top of the second piece's border. It should look like this. Now for the front side of the piece, we're going to be putting glue all over that 1 centimeter border that we made and glue the front pieces together. Sometimes the hot glue may dry too quickly, so we'll just go back to those areas, apply a little more, and that should be done. Now to finish off the knife part, we're going to be making this small piece to support where the knife and handle will meet. This piece will come with the molds and with its measurements. And this is how the piece is going to go. we're going to be cutting 4 pieces 10 inches long and 1 inch wide. We're using this type of thick cardboard to use as filler for the handle. Now we're going to be making the handle piece. Don't worry, all the measurements for the handle piece is going to be with the other molds in the description. But just to say it, it's going to be 4 columns of 8 inches long and 4 alternating columns of 1 inch, half an inch, 1 inch, half an inch, and a border of 1 centimeter. It should look like this. Before I cut it, I'm going to be tracing it lightly with scissors so it can fold more nicely. Now we fold it carefully so it lines up with the measurements and the lines. After folding it, it should look something like this, with that 1 centimeter border inside of that square. Now we're going to be gluing the pieces of cardboard that we cut earlier, for now in pairs of 2. Now we're going to be marking an inch on both ends of the cardboard pieces. So when we glue the handle, we'll have 1 inch sticking out of each end. This will help us connect the first piece that we made and the other piece that we're gonna make. Now we're gonna carefully glue that cardboard piece to the handle in that 1 inch mark. So of course in the end we have both sides sticking out with 1 inch. Now after making sure that the first cardboard piece is glued correctly, we'll glue the second one on top, finishing the filler for the handle. And now we'll just wrap around the handle over the cardboard, glue it, and it should look like this. Now I'm going to show you how the pieces are going to be connecting with each other. If you have any trouble fitting in the cardboard, the 1-inch cardboard piece with the first piece, just flatten it out a little bit and it should fit all right. Onto the last piece. Like I already said, the mold is going to be available in the description, including all the borders and the measurements that I'm going to be taking. After we fold the two side borders, now we're going to be folding it up and lining it with the bottom part of the piece. Now that it's glued, we're gonna make a small cut here where the mold has like this little boot part or the bump part. This will help us fold it better and make it take the same shape. Now we're going to make another cut just a little further so it can help us fold it better. For me, I made the borders a little too big, so when I was folding it, it was hitting up against the previous folded part and not folding correctly. But this is already fixed in the molds in the description. Now that we make sure that it folds correctly, now we glue it. If you get an excess at the top, that's fine, just cut it out and it'll look just fine. Now to finish the handle, we just need to glue the bottom piece to the handle and go paint it black. Now to get the prop a little more stability and strength, we're going to be adding a small stick. This stick is approximately 21 inches long and it's 4.7 millimeters thick in. Now we're going to be inserting like 9 inches of the stick inside of the handle, just like this. Now we're going to be gluing the top part of the knife just as we did with the handle part. Put some glue onto the stick and insert the knife part. Also make sure to put a little bit of glue on that inch of cardboard that we left. It didn't really glue too well, but luckily since we have the top part open, I can just glue it from there. I'm going to be using bias tape to simulate the bandage that goes around the knife part. I'm going to start folding it where the knife and the handle part meet. I don't really have a strategy on how I'm folding it. I'm just kind of folding it as I go, seeing if I like or don't like how it's going. After I finished wrapping it, I liked how it looked, so I just left it how it was and I just started gluing it in place. And since I wrapped it pretty tight, I only had to glue the parts that were just a little loose and the parts where I needed to fold it. Now that we're done gluing, all we need to do is just finish the details. That being all the black stains around the bandages. And we're going to be doing all of those by hand with a Sharpie. And this is the final result. Ready to be part of your cosplay. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video and it was of use to you. And if so, a like and subscribe would be appreciated. And a great way to support my channel and say thank you. Bye bye.